Wow, good morning. I think we are live now, so that's great news because I've had a lot of technical issues, shall we say, this morning, on top of which someone's chopping down a tree outside. So if you can hear a chainsaw, my apologies. I intended completely to be bringing you a very slick live stream this morning that was had several different cameras operating and a few slides and stuff, and I was let down by a few wires, so I apologize for my plan B, which has come into action. So I'm going to be drawing on this over here. I just wanted to say this morning that, there are a lot of things going on around the world that are a bit stressful, shall we say. Here in the UK, we've got lockdown day one. And, in America, there's all the stuff with the elections going on. And there are obviously the COVID things going on around the world. So that's pretty stressful for a lot of people. So I thought it would be really nice to just stop for a minute and do something a bit different. So please do say hi in the chat. I've got the chat on. So hello to Lady Ice. Good morning to you. And to the people who got in contact with me after I did my live on Monday and said that I'd be setting up these ones, just 4 little live 20-minute sort of drawing vids. Massive thank you to all of the people that got in touch with me. And one person, I couldn't find it this morning, I think it was Tulip, said she wanted a cute doggy. So that's what we're going to draw this morning. Fluffy, cute doggy. I've got some watercolour paper here, but really you can use cartridge paper or whatever you've got. I've got a really soft pencil, so that one is an 8B. I've also got a paler one, a 4B, just in case I need that. And in terms of colouring, I've got some colouring pencils. So I've got a black, an ochre, so that's sort of pale brown. I've got a darker brown there. And I've got a pink, and we'll hardly be using this. It'll be for one tiny little bit. And I've also got some brushes. So I've just got 3 brushes. I'm probably going to use the medium size one. And I've got a little pot of water. And that's all we're going to be using. So if you've got anything like that, you can rewatch this video, by the way, when it's processed and uploaded onto my channel. But if you've got anything like that hanging around, then I would suggest that you whip them out and then you can draw along with me. So I'm going to try and aim my webcam so that it's more directly looking at the paper and less at my slightly untidy studio. And hopefully by tomorrow I will have figured stuff out with my cameras and I'll be able to bring you a look down version of doing this tomorrow. So on to what we're going to be drawing, and that is, I did a quick sketch. There she is. That's little Maisie. So you might well have seen her in some of my other videos. So I'm going to start with, I'm using my dark pencil just so that you can see it more easily. I'm just going to start with one kind of oval shape and then another oval shape smaller underneath. And that's going to be her body and her head. And then her ears are quite big, like that. And she's got her tail coming around like that. And that's the basic start of it. Let me see if I can show you that a bit better. Oh, that's better, isn't it? So that's the basic start of her body shape. And I'm going to do her ears first, actually. And that she's got a lot of fluffiness comes off. So you can just draw these little sort of tendrils of fur. And then that last bit, if you kind of lick it upwards like that, it makes it look very fluffy. Okay, so that's her ears. I'm going to Can't see it right. Thanks, Lady Ice. I'm going to bring it forwards just a wee bit so that you can see what's going on. Let me know, is that better? Okay, good. Hello, Ice Lollyland. Glad I'm cheering you up. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see that. Can you just let me know that you can see that okay? I know it's a bit dark, but as I draw into it, you'll be able to see it a bit better. So her nose is going to be slightly over to the side, and then her eyes, if you put eyes sort of halfway down the face, that's about the right sort of level. And then her mouth is just like a line down and then a curl one way and a curl the other way. And when you're drawing pupils, if you have them right in the middle, then it gives your characters a bit of a gormless look and not quite what I'm wanting. If you have them slightly towards the middle, then it makes it look like they're looking at you or at the thing that they're supposed to be looking at. So that's why I've done that. I've left a little bit of white there in the middle and just a little eyelash there. And then I'm going to do the same as what I've done with her fluff here. Just going to do the same around her body. And then her paws like that. And then when you draw in a cat or a dog, back leg goes like that. Big fluffy tail. And also, I just want to say, when I've done the colouring, you've got to wait and see, or come back to it if you've got to rush off and do something. Come back and see it at the end, because it's quite magic when you put a bit of water on it. Okay, I'm going to start now doing a bit of colouring. I've got my yellow ochre, and she's got a lot around her eyes. When she was a baby, she had really dark patches around her eyes, black pretty much. But as she's got older, they've gone much, much, much paler. So I'm going to give her slightly darkened ones as if when she was a puppy, because that sort of slightly more pronounced darkness gives it a bit more character, I think. So I'm just doing this quite quickly, colouring her ear in. Where you've got, well, on this paper, this is rough watercolour paper, so there's quite a lot of indentations in it, and that gives us a more texture. And I would say most of the time I don't use this sort of watercolour paper, because if I'm using a dip pen, or if I'm using fine liners, they don't work very well on this sort of paper, so it's quite rare that I actually use this. So she's got these marks, white marks down the middle, and then I'm just going to give her a bit on her back. She's got this almost a love heart on her back in white, which is very cute. Have you seen that? If you Google Chihuahua puppy with love heart, you'll see there is actually a very, very cute little puppy who's got an actual love heart in brown on her back. Now, whether that's been photoshopped, I don't know. Could be. But very cute. Right. Have brown will travel. So she's got these dark areas around her eyes. Like that. And then a few dark bits on her ears. By the way, how are you guys doing this morning? And whereabouts are you in the world? I suspect many of my American chums and subscribers are probably, well, maybe still in bed after staying up a lot last night, maybe. But it also is about 5 o'clock in the morning there, so I'm not surprised if we don't get many people from the US. But I also have people that I'm in contact with in Australia and New Zealand. So hopefully we've got a few folk from over that way. Okay, gonna get now my black. And again, just leave her a little bit of white in the middle to show a bit of shine. And I'm also going to give her just a little bit around her eyes. Okie dokie. Now, the thing with Maisie is, and I'm going to pick up my pale one again, she's got these little kind of marks, little spots almost, on her upper lip and also on her front paws, like that. Just going to give her a bit more fur. She's got a really hairy chest. I mean, it's not very ladylike, but she's got a lot of kind of ruff around here. And the bit I forgot so far is her tongue, for which we will need the pink. So I told you it was only a very tiny bit, didn't I? There you go. One tiny bit. And the other thing that we really need to do desperately is we need to give her something to sit on. So I'm just going to use, I think, probably the black, just as a bit of contrast, and just a little bit of shadow to go underneath. Because if you have your characters just floating about in midair, it's kind of, I don't know, you just need a bit of context, really. And that is using the side of the pencil like that. Right, now I think we're going to have some magic. Excuse me. I'm going to use my, this is my newest brush. It's a ProArt Proline brush because I like to buy the synthetic ones rather than the ones that they've stripped out of the back of a squirrel's tail. I think squirrels need their tails. You know, call me fussy, but I think, you know, if I was a squirrel, I'd quite like to keep my tail in one piece. So I like to buy the ones that are synthetic. It's wet, quite wet. Okay, watch the magic. Look at that. It just saturates all those colours. So keep getting it wet, keep washing it and wetting it, because what you don't want to do is moving pigment. As I've picked pigment up there, I don't want to then move it necessarily to other parts of the body. So I'm just going to be turning my brush and going just a little upward flick to give her a fluff and fur. And these are water-soluble pencils. It doesn't work with normal just colouring pencils, unfortunately, but I think what you'll find is if you invest in some of these, that they're not that much more expensive than buying decent quality, just regular colouring pencils. So you can use water-soluble pencils as normal colouring pencils. So you might as well buy the water-soluble ones, I think. Okay, I've really wetted my brush again. I'm just going to do her nose first of all. And that brings up that black really nicely. You can still see a little bit of the texture underneath. And then this bit of her head actually is not very, it's quite flat fur there. So I'm not gonna bother doing much in the way of fluff, just a little bit there to show that bit around the other side of her cheek. And then a little bit more here, around that black mark around her eye. She was like, she looked a bit like a bandit when she was little. And it was funny because we didn't really notice the change. Must have changed over quite a long period of time, because it was only when I went back and looked at her pictures as a puppy that I realised how different she looked. But she's got an awful lot of white on her. And then she's a tricolour, so she's got a bit of black, a bit of brown, mostly white. And to make your characters look cuter, what you want to do is make their eyes really big and make their heads big. So you're thinking about if you think about what human babies look like, they've got massive heads. When they're very tiny, massive heads in comparison to their bodies. And also, if you think about when you see a baby lying in its cot and it's got its arms above its head, they barely reach the top of just over its ears. So, big head and big eyes go for equal cuteness. Okie dokie. Hello, Nicole in New Zealand. I did read your message. Thank you very much for getting in touch. Right. So I'm going to just see if I can pick this up and get it a bit closer, because I can see on my monitor that it's not the clearest of pictures. Annoyingly, I'm so sorry. This is really meant to go slick and smoothly and with no problems whatsoever, with no technical issues. And I fell at the last hurdle. Should have seen me half an hour ago. I was flinging bits of wire and different leads out of my kitchen to try and find the right one to go in my camera. Couldn't find it. So I'm going to try and find a different way for tomorrow to draw something. And tomorrow we're going to be drawing, I'm going to do a very nice picture of some flowers, a sort of decorative one that you could use for maybe birthday cards or something like that. It's going to be super easy. All you're going to need is pencil, fine liners if you've got it. If you haven't, something like a biro pen would be absolutely fine. All you need is a thin black line. And then whatever you've got in terms of stuff to colour. So that could be colouring pencils, water-soluble pencils, watercolour, crayons, makeup, whatever you've got hanging around. Bring it along with you tomorrow, and we'll do something nice and calming. So I hope you managed to have a go at doing this. What I will try and do, if I can, is I will scan this in and then upload it to I think I'll upload it to my website. It's probably the easiest place to find it, so that you can download it and just use it as a bit of inspiration, or copy it if you want, copy and trace it. I don't mind. You can use it however you want, so long as you're not using it to make yourself 10 squillion dollars/pounds, then I'm quite happy for you to just, take it and just have a bit of fun with it, really. I've got some other courses and things like that on my website, and also all my books are on my website. So if you want to go and use that sort of, have a look at those, and in terms of inspiration for what you're doing, then again, I'm happy for you to just have a look at that. Let me know if you want to. Let me know in the comments, because I haven't yet got any plans for what I'm doing Saturday and Sunday. So tomorrow I'll be with you in Thursday at 10 o'clock again. No, Friday's tomorrow, isn't it? Oh my wordy. Right, Friday, 10 o'clock in the morning. That's UTC or GMT as we are now in UK. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to do it in the afternoon. Haven't got any plans yet for what I'm going to do. So if you've got anything that you think I would really like to do that, so long as it's not monkeys or gorillas, because I can't draw those, then I'm happy to take on suggestions. I might even do a squirrel, seeing as we were talking about squirrels earlier. I might do trees and squirrels. yeah, so let me know in the chat what you want to see. If by the time we finish this, the chat is off and you still want to have a say about what you want to see, then you'll be able to comment in the comments of the video when it's processed and uploaded. I have no control over that. It's YouTube does that, and usually takes about half an hour or something, I think, they process it. So yeah, let me know there. Otherwise, have a good day, chill out, try not to get too stressed about everything that's going on, and take a few deep breaths. I'm going to go and do some yoga, and I don't know what else I'm going to do today. Might tidy the kitchen. What if you're in the UK, what's your lockdown strategy today? Let me know. Anyway, lovely to have you with me. Thanks for joining me today, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some flowers. Okay, see ya. Nanu nanu, as I normally say.